Hey, listen, you are a great and mighty leader. And so there are so many things that come along with being this great and mighty leader that God is calling you to be. You're being called to a different level, a different place in your life. God preserved you for such a time as this. And at this time, you notice all of the chosen ones are being called higher. The chosen ones are being called to do things that we have never done. Y'all, I got here 3:33 in the morning. Actually, I left my house at 3:33 this morning. And God is always speaking to us in every kind of way that he can speak to us. I was jolted out of my sleep saying, "Get up. You got to get to the gym. You got to work on yourself. You got to become disciplined." So listen, we are being called to become disciplined because when you are a leader, you have to lead. You have to lead. And I go on these insurance calls every morning. They always saying lead from the front. If you are not leading from the front, you are not a leader. And that, whenever they say that, I'm like, dang, they always saying this, but it's real. It's really real. And so how can you lead from the front if you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing? All these old leaders are being wiped out. So you are being pulled higher. You are being called higher. You have been chosen for this thing before the foundation of the earth. And y'all listen, I would not be out of my house at 3 o'clock in the morning at no gym. I will be trying to get all the sleep I can get before I have to wake my children up, before I have to go out on the road to work. I will be trying to get every bit of sleep I can get to the last minute. I'll be the last one to get in the shower because I wanted to get my sleep. But God has said, you got to go higher. You got to go higher. The world is waiting on you to become this great and mighty leader in whatever area God is calling you to. So if he's calling you to do these things, it's time. It's time. Because listen, as I am here, I am leading from the front. And in every area of my life, I expect to lead from the front. And right now, I haven't been doing my job. So listen, if you have not been doing your job, if you have not been disciplined, if you have not been in a place that you are being called to be in, it's time to get in that place because now is your time. Now is your season. Listen, there was a time when my oldest sister passed away, and me and some of my siblings were cleaning up her apartment. And as we were cleaning up her apartment, my baby sister gave me one of the refrigerator drawers with some Fabuloso and some bleach in it. And I didn't even know what it was. She said, hey, put some water in this. So I put water in the Fabuloso and the bleach in the little refrigerator drawer, and a whole chemical bubble went down my nose, my mouth, down my throat, and I should have been gone. I should have been dead. But y'all need to understand, when God got a calling over your life, when God has chosen you, every pregnancy I've had, it should have taken my life out. Relationships, abusive relationship should have taken my life out. You need to understand, when you're chosen by God, ain't nothing gonna stop to what he put on you. Ain't nothing gonna block you from where he's calling you to. There might be stuff that's trying to delay you, but you're going to get to where he's calling you to. If he called you a mighty leader, you have to understand. I always say, like David was tending to the sheep, y'all. David was in the field tending to the sheep. And David, before he got to the kingdom where God called him to be as king, he had to go through those trials. He had to go through those tribulations. He has to go through those delays. He had to go through giving into his flesh and gratifying his flesh and go through all those different things, because that was all a part of the journey. And I want to tell you guys, I hope you guys can see me. It's kind of dark out here this morning. I want you guys to understand everything that you're going through, every trial, every tribulation, it seems like a delay is not a delay. It's all a part of the journey. Whatever people have done to you, whatever they have said to you, listen, it's all a part of it. And as you are this great and mighty leader like David, you're going to have to go through. But it's not going to stop you from getting to the promise. You are headed to the promise in this hour. I am headed to the promise in this hour. And though I have not been where I thought I'm supposed to be at this hour, I'm still headed towards the promise. I'm out here 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock now. I've been here since 3:33. It's 5 o'clock in the morning now. I'm headed to the promise. You have to start where God is calling you to start. You have to push into the promise. You have to push into the purpose, y'all, because listen, When I tell you, this has been one of the most difficult seasons of my life. When I tell you I'm being called higher. When I tell you guys, I'm going to get to where God is calling me to be because it's destined over my life. Like David was destined to rule and to reign. Joseph was destined to take over the land and be over his brothers and help his family. We are destined to get to a place that's greater than us. And right now we are being called. We are being pulled. That's why I made that video. The giants have awoken. If you don't understand that you are a giant in this hour, you are about to understand. If you don't understand that God has preserved your life for such a time as this, you should have been dead. Some of you should be filled with sickness and disease, but God has restored you. He has recovered your life. He has restored what the locusts and the cankerworms have tried to eat away from you. You got to understand that in this hour. You got to understand that no weapon formed against you shall prosper is very real. I'm out here at 5-something in the morning. My body should be broken down. My mind should be broken down. My spirit should be broken down. But he said, Rachel, no weapon formed against you. He said, Rachel, you are a great and mighty leader. He said, Rachel, get up because there is work to be done by you and that world is waiting on you. So listen, as I leave this gym this morning, I want to encourage you guys to push into that purpose, push into that promise. And we're becoming the most beautiful, the greatest versions of ourselves because this has been destined before the foundation of the earth. And if this was not destined before the foundation of the earth, I would still be in the bed. I would still be overweight. I would still not be pushing into my potential, my purpose, and my promise. But this has been destined before the foundation of the earth. He said, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I called you as a prophet unto the nations. God knew you. God called you. God anointed you. He appointed you. And guess what? Whatever, I don't know if y'all can see me, whatever God said that you're going to have, you are going to have it. But we have to go through the process. And every day it's hard for me to go through the process. I want to give into my flesh in every way. I promise you I do. I want to give into it, but I know there's something greater for me. I know that if I wait and if I be patient and if I push through, then I'm going to get to every place that God has said that I could go. So I hope I help somebody this morning because this is helping me. I'm up, I'm out, I'm exercising. It's not about that. God wants people to see what he has done in you and who he has called you to be. I know y'all can't hardly see me, but who he has called you to be. And he wants them to know if it's possible for you to do it, if it's possible for me to do it, you can do it also. So listen, be encouraged this morning. Press into the purpose, press into the promise. God has not forgotten about you. He has not. And have a beautiful, awesome, amazing, wonderful, I believe it's Wednesday. God bless you guys. I am Prophetess Rachel.